Okay, my panic attacks. Okay, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. I don't know. If I remember, I can tell you exactly. But well, there was one morning I had gotten up. I get up every morning at like 6:30 with my kids, and I'm making sure they get ready for school, making sure they're dressed, making sure they get their hair, make sure they get out to the bus stop on time, because I don't like having to, in my pajamas, to throw on stuff and put my hair up in a bun and have to drive them to school, so I'd rather them take the bus. Anyway, I was doing that, and my kids were fighting like always, and they were fighting, arguing with each other, and they ended up missing the bus. Okay, I was flipping out a little bit on the inside. I was trying to eat. I ended up, well, I don't like talking about panic attacks sometimes because it makes me start having anxiety. I don't know if y'all are the same way, or if you try to explain your symptoms, you start like getting them again. That happens to me sometimes. So, but basically, okay, okay. What happened was, I was sitting there, the kids were whatever, I ended up yelling at them, just gonna be honest. I got after them because they were arguing and fighting and screaming and yelling and would not stop. Okay, I was trying to sit there, trying to be calm, trying to talk to them like a mother is supposed to talk to their children, but oh my goodness, it went wacko that day. And anyway, I got after them. I told them to stop, to sit down and wait for their father. I got my husband to get up and take them to school for me. I said I didn't feel like taking them, so I said please take them, and I was in the middle of eating my breakfast, so like so he got up and he decided to go, take them. Well, anyway, he took them, and I remember I was feeling like this dread because I was gonna be home all alone, right? Okay, I was gonna be all by myself at the house, but I was eating. I thought I was fine because some mornings I'm okay. I'll be on Facebook or whatever, and eating my meal. I read my Bible sometimes in the morning, send out scripture, whatever, and what I was doing, I was sitting there eating, and out of nowhere, I got like this. It's almost like, okay, I was sitting there at my computer. I had my food, right in front of me, and I was eating it. I was eating a piece of toast, a sprouted bread toast with organic peanut butter and like some raw honey and an apple on the side, and just snacky stuff, Anyway, I was eating, and all of a sudden, I was sitting there in my chair, and I felt like this. Like everything just went sideways, like I was gonna fall over or something. All of a sudden I got this coldness in my chest, right? Okay, I got the off balance feeling, then I got this super coldness all throughout my chest, and then all of a sudden my heart rate went sky high. I could not calm down. It came out of nowhere. I started sweating. I started where I couldn't breathe. I got nauseated, real bad nauseated, like I was about to throw up. And okay, let me explain something to you. The racing heartbeat has not happened to me to that extent in literally years. So this came out of nowhere, and it freaked me out because yes, I have anxiety every day, and yes, I deal with this, and my heart rate usually stays in the 90s, 100, sometimes, but that's it. That morning, I have a heart monitor. I think we all do. I have a heart monitor. I put the heart monitor on my wrist. I have a wrist one, and I checked my heart rate, and it had gotten up to 120 something, right? Out of nowhere. I was just sitting there in the chair, okay? And I was feeling all these symptoms. Anyway, I kept checking it and kept checking it and kept checking it because I was freaking out, okay? When that happened, it actually had gotten up to like 138, dude. I was just sitting there. I wasn't doing anything, and I was calm. I wasn't breathing heavy. This is another thing that freaked me out. I was not hyperventilating. I wasn't. I did not feel the hyperventilation. I wasn't feeling the tingliness in my hands, nothing like that to go that associate the things that you associate with hyperventilation. I was having none of it. So I was really freaking out because why was I feeling this way? What was going on, you know? So nobody was at home. I was all by myself. My husband had taken off and I had the phone, but he doesn't have a phone. We have one cell phone that we all share in the house because we're poor. I'm sorry, we just are. I think a lot of us are. But and I was freaking out. I ended up calling 911 because I had not dealt with this before. I was freaking out. I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought something was wrong with me, you know. So I called the ambulance. They came and got me. They checked my sugar. They checked my blood pressure. They checked everything. My blood pressure was good. My sugar level was good. My heart rate when they had gotten here was 120 something still. And then they took me to the hospital. I sat there and I begged the paramedics not to treat me like an anxiety person, like a person with anxiety. You know, I told them I was extremely scared, that I do not call the ambulance unless I seriously feel like there's something wrong. And the guy was really nice, and he told me he totally understood and he was going to be there with me, you know, all this stuff. Anyway, I went to the hospital. I was there all day. They gave me blood work. They took blood. They made me do the pee thing, I forgot what it's called, urinalysis or whatever. And they came and checked me. They even stuck some heart things on me. Anyway, they didn't do an EKG or nothing though, but they just threw it on me for some reason. I forgot why. The nurse told me they did that. Anyway, the doctor comes to talk to me and he told me that I was perfectly fine. That's like one of the worst things to hear when you're going through something like that, you know? He told me I was perfectly fine, that everything was okay, and that for me just to calm down. And I was like, really? I was calm. I wasn't hyperventilating. I wasn't nothing. It came out of nowhere. It was scary as hell, you know, and it just kept happening over and over too while I was at the hospital. Of course, at the hospital I felt a little bit better because I felt like if something happens, well, at least there's people there to help me. But anyway, he told me to calm down, and I told him, but I started, you know, I get crazy. When the doctor tells me, well, everything's fine, I start rambling off about all these tests that he could have done, and are you sure? And start mentioning all these diseases and things like that, you know. Of course, the doctor looks at me like, you know, what? And anyway, he slapped me on my foot, and he told me to stop being silly, right? And it made me laugh. I mean, honestly, it made me laugh because I laugh about everything. So, you know, it made me laugh because I was like, okay, yes, I need to stop freaking out over nothing. The doctor knows what he's talking about, right? Anyway, he told me that I had a panic attack, and just to calm down, to go home and be, just to be calm, you know, to relax, try to, you know, whatever. I was like, well, okay, you know, I took what he said, went home, you know, everything. Well, a few days later, I go out of town with my mother. This time I went to 6 hours away, which I went to Dallas, Texas, right? I went to Dallas, and we went to go pick up my little sister. Of course, the weather got really, really bad around that time. Anyway, I was on my way. One of my friends' friends was taking me to drop me off to meet with my mom, right? Because I had gone and hung out with my friend for a couple of hours. Anyway, when they were taking me to go, you know, meet up with my mother, so, you know, we could do whatever we had to do, we're actually going to head back over here, back home, because the weather was getting really, really bad. Whenever we were on our way, we were stuck in a little Camaro, right? I was in, I think it's a Camaro, Firebird. I don't know, one of those cars. Anyway, I was in the passenger seat, you know, and my two boys were in the back seat. I was in there, and for some reason, out of nowhere, all over again, I had the coldness in my chest, out of nowhere, okay? The coldness in my chest, the heart rate went up. Oh my goodness, dude, everything. But this time it was so much worse, so much worse. I got to the point where, okay, I was breathing fine, unless, I don't know if maybe I'm not doing that sometimes, and sometimes maybe my kids are crazy. Don't worry, they're not in trouble. I can tell. When you're a mom, when you're a parent, you can tell the difference between the screams and they're just playing right now. I'm just letting you know. Anyway, because I know it sounds kind of crazy. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. My arms from my elbows all the way down to my fingers, both arms went completely numb, and they felt like, I don't know, this is the only way I can describe it. The only way I can describe it is that they felt as if, okay, you know when you look at a TV and there's static on the screen, right? Well, how you could, I'm sure you could imagine how that static would feel if it was all in your body, okay? That's exactly how my arms felt, from my elbows to my fingers, all the way down. And they felt staticky to the point of where I could not feel them at all. It was almost, I could barely feel my arms, okay? And this came out of nowhere, and I was not hyperventilating. And I was not hyperventilating, but maybe I was trying to be logical, and I was thinking maybe I was holding my breath and not realizing it, and I wonder if that can have the same effect as like hyperventilation. But I was trying to calm myself down, and I pulled out my heart monitor again, of course, and I was checking that, and it was going up real high again into the 130s and stuff. And as a matter of fact, this is funny, this made me laugh, because one time, and this thing lasted, let me tell you something else. The first time it happened, and then this last time it happened, it lasted, I could not calm completely down for hours. It took hours for me to calm completely down and be okay. And that's another thing that freaks me out, you know. And that time when I was in Dallas with my mom, we didn't go to the doctor, nothing like that, because I had dealt with it a few days before, and they told me everything was fine. So I was trying to calm myself down. I went and I talked to my mom, and I told my mom I'm not feeling good. I told her something's going on, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I was trying to explain to her, you know, she knows I have anxiety, so you know, she was telling me, "Oh, come on, you know, calm down, you know." But my arms and stuff, it was horrible. And I started feeling the stiffness, you know, where it was horrible, scary. As a matter of fact, there was one time I kept checking my heart rate, and it would go from it would be like 97. And then the next time I checked it, there was one time I checked it, it was 182. I was sitting in the car. I didn't feel crazy. I wasn't feeling the hyperventilation, nothing. But it was 182, and I was like, I rolled my eyes, because I was like, dude, that's not even real. I know that's a malfunction in the freaking heart monitor, because like the next second I did it again, I checked it again, and it was back down to 95, you know. I was like, there's no way it could have gone that fast down within like a few seconds, you know. And I started laughing, and that's when I put the heart monitor away. I was like, you know what, stop this. I need to stop, you know. I need to calm down. And it's hard to calm down when you're stuck in a car. You can't get out, because like me, when I'm having a panic attack or whatever, usually I'll walk around. I walk around like crazy. I start pacing, and I'll just walk around, or I'll start jumping around, because I have to, because if I don't, it's like I feel like boxed up, like something's really, really, really wrong, you know. And that happens to me. Anyway, that happened to me though twice, and it was so scary. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced anything like that before, but it kind of reminded me of the very first panic attack I ever had, you know. And it was just so scary. And honestly, these last couple of weeks, you know, I've been on edge, like thinking it's gonna happen again, when is it gonna happen again, you know, expecting it to happen, worried that it is gonna happen, and thinking that you know, I'm about to go into another one of those attacks, you know. Or actually what I've been thinking is that the doctor didn't catch it, something that's wrong with me, and that something is truly wrong with me. I don't have anxiety, that something's going on, and that I'm gonna end up dying because nobody's catching it, you know. Nobody's diagnosed with me with anything, and so like I'm gonna end up dying, you know. And I'm sure y'all have this too. I'm pretty sure all of us deal with this, because I've read so many things and I've seen so many things and I've talked to so many people and that they deal with this thing, you know, and it's scary. It's so scary. And like even right now I keep worrying, like every time when it gets closer and closer to bedtime, oh goodness, I start flipping out, and it's so bad for me. I want to get over this. I want this to go away. I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life, and I know none of us do. I know y'all don't either, and I really want to figure something out to help me, myself, and to help everyone, you know, anyone who has to suffer with this. I've told my husband before, I've told many people before, I would not wish this on my worst enemy. I just wouldn't. I would not wish any of this on my worst enemy, because it's the most horrible thing. It's like you're trapped in your own prison, you know? You've made this prison for yourself, and that's literally what you've done. You've made this prison for yourself, and this is how I feel, this is how I describe it. Me personally, I feel like I've made this prison. I've like locked myself inside, and I have the key. It's in my pocket. I just have to reach down and take it out and open the door and get out there, you know? But it's so much harder than what it sounds like, you know? It sounds so easy, and so many people will tell you, you know, oh, it's all in your head, or oh, get over it, you know, it's what are you doing, you know? And they don't understand. Like I've told my husband numerous times, because there's been times he's gotten pissed off at me and been all like bent out of shape over things, and telling me to get over it, that I'm fine, and that I know it's all in my head, that what am I doing, you know, whatever. And I've told him, I said, you don't understand. I said, yes, I understand it's all in my head. I understand I'm doing this to myself. But what you don't understand is that I'm having real physical symptoms, and I really can't stop my thoughts. You know, it's not that easy, you know, and it's so scary. And like, I just can't, I hate it. I can't stop thinking. I can't stop thinking. I can't stop thinking. And I'm always thinking about death, and thinking, have this fixation on myself, on me dying, and like all these bad things happening, you know. And I even think crazy when it comes to my loved ones, you know. I'm always worried, always freaking out over things, and these thoughts will go round and round in my head, dealing with everybody. And it's crazy. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And I don't wish this on me or anyone else, you know. I don't want to have this. I don't want this to be part of my life. It's already taken over 9 years of my life, and I don't want it to take over anymore, you know. And anyway, I just thought I'd share that with y'all. I don't know if y'all have experienced that before. If you have, awesome. Please leave me comments saying, hey, I've experienced those kind of panic attacks before, and yes, it sucks, you know. Or that feeling I told you about with the whole weird, like, electric shock little feelings under my skin and little parts of my skin, you know. And the thing is, it's on my left hand and my left foot usually, and it's just crazy. But anyway, just do that if you can. Leave comments if you all have ever experienced any of that before. I will talk to y'all later. I will make another video soon. I'll start making more videos now. I think I'm going to make one soon. I'm always saying, I don't want to tell y'all what I think I'm going to make, because I say I'm going to do something, and then sometimes I don't do it because of things that happen, or I forget, or, you know, whatever. Like that time I said I was going to do the Halloween thing, and I just didn't, because so many things came up in my life around that time, you know. And then just stuff like that. But so I'm not going to say anything. But I do have ideas, and I want to be able to bring stuff to y'all, you know. But I was just sharing something with you, and it's just scary. I don't want to have to go through that. So, but anyway, I will talk to y'all later. I'll make more videos, like I said. I'll probably make another one here in the next few days, dealing with I don't know what. I'm not gonna say, I will talk to y'all later. I hope y'all are having a great and wonderful night. I hope you're not having anxiety. If you are, believe me, I know what you're going through. You're not alone, and I feel you. I know exactly what you're going through, and I've been there. You know, we all have, and I know that you're gonna get through this. Everything's gonna be fine, and you'll get through it. Just let it pass. You know, you'll be fine tomorrow morning. You'll be fine in the next week. You know, if you want to, write some stuff down, and this is what I started doing too. I started writing things down whenever I started having panic attacks. I would write it down, or I even made videos. I have old videos of me just saying my symptoms, you know, on video, what I was feeling at the time. But writing it down is easier to me, because then you can go back and look at it whenever you want to. A lot easier than trying to find videos on your computer. But yeah, just that's what I would do. And then I would go back, you know, months later and be like, oh wow, I did feel like this before, you know, because sometimes you forget, especially with our racing thoughts that we have. But anyway, like I said, have a great night, you know, and smile. Seriously, smile. Smile, make yourself laugh. Laugh at yourself. That's the best, like, medicine ever. Laugh at yourself and know the things that you've gone through, you know, and what everything's always turned out to be okay. Yeah, and if y'all ever need anything, do not hesitate to send me a message on here. I do not mind at all. I am the more the merrier. I am more than happy to talk to y'all on here. Or if y'all have certain requests that you want me to talk about or have questions about, just do it. Go ahead and leave me a comment or send me a message, you know. But anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Good night. Bye.